Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. We got some big news out of New Mexico on the heels of the governor taking away the Second Amendment right, putting a stop to all concealed carry and open carry in the state, in Albuquerque and a outlying county for the next 30 days. We have new news. Now, this story, we got two stories, comes out of Zero Hedge. It's entitled, New Mexico Lawmakers Call for Governor's Impeachment Over 2A Overreach. New Mexico State Representative Stephanie Lord, a Republican, and John Block, a Republican, called for the impeaching of Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Type 1 if you agree with this and stand by the calls for her to be impeached, the governor. I will tell you right now, I agree and think that she should be impeached. After she issued a public health emergency to strip away the right for law-abiding citizens to carry firearms in public, in and around Albuquerque, the state's largest city. This is an abhorrent attempt in imposing a radical, progressive agenda on an unwilling populace, rather than addressing crime at its core. I guess the Democrats are really good at that. Governor Grisham, and don't get me wrong, the Rhino Republicans, the far right, they need to be gone too. As a matter of fact, the one thing I think we can all agree, and type 3 if you agree with me, is term limits. Congress people need term limits. Governors have term limits. Presidents have term limits. Why don't we impose those for Congress? But sorry, I digress. It says right here, while impeachment calls grow, Eric Pratt, Senior VP of Gun Owners of America, told us the governor's actions are evil and tyrannical. GOA's attorneys are already preparing a complaint, so heads up to the governor. We'll see you in court. Grisham declared in a statement, as I said yesterday, the time for standard measures has passed. And when New Mexicans are afraid to be in crowds, to take their kids to school, to leave a baseball game, when their very right to exist is threatened by the prospect of violence at every turn, something went very wrong. Type 6 down below if you do not think that this action by the governor is going to stop bad people from going around and killing or hurting innocent people. Type 7 if you believe that law-abiding citizens that are trained properly and know how to use safely firearms to carry in public can actually aid police because they are more likely to be on scene when something goes bad rather than everybody having to wait for the police officers to get there. Now it says, law-abiding citizens won't be able to match force with criminal threats while in public. I completely think that is absolutely insanity. After failed progressive policies transformed Albuquerque into a crime-infested metro area with soaring violence. Now let's dive into the next story, and this one's out of Zero Hedge also, and it's entitled, See You in Court. Gun Owners of America sues tyrannical New Mexico governor. It says New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham declared gun violence a public health emergency. While the anti-gun lobby and their allies in the corporate media have long championed the idea that gun violence constitutes a public health emergency, this is the first time after the COVID-19 pandemic that public health has been used as a guise to limit law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights unconstitutionally. It says, while the public health order may stop law-abiding citizens from carrying firearms to defend themselves in Albuquerque, it certainly will not deter criminals who do not often have permits to carry firearms, whether open or concealed in the first place. Let me stop there and remind you. Think about this. The governor's thinking, oh yeah, everyone's going to listen to my order. No, that's not true. The only people that are going to listen to are law-abiding citizens, so they're going to take their firearms and leave them at home. Because they know that if they are caught in the middle of a gun battle where some bad person that has no business or no respect for the law and does not care about it because they intend to hurt people, take innocent lives, they know that if they're caught, they're going to deal with the judicial system. Here's the problem. They don't care about that. They already know that's the case. But what about the law-abiding citizen? The person leaving their gun at home is doing the exact same thing because they go, if I am caught in a gun battle to save somebody's life, now I am going to have a felony on my rap sheet. They are going to arrest me because they're going to say, how did you have the gun? Well, I just saved tons of people and the gunman, the bad person's dead. And they're going to say, we don't care. You didn't wait for the cops. You had a gun on you. You're going to go to jail. You're going to have your life destroyed. You're going to be taken away from your family. Now think about that. Good job, Governor. You're doing everything you can to cause a even bigger crisis. Every single day on the social media outlets, I love watching good-hearted Americans that have carried for not only their protection, but the protection of others, that have had to make those hard decisions as a gunman walks into a convenience store and starts to shoot people, to rob the place, or to do harm in a school or a shopping mall. And they have to go through, this is it. This is why I am prepared. This is everything I have been getting ready for. I now have to possibly have my entire life altered or changed. But in doing so, I know that I'm saving lives. Think about that. It's absolutely disgusting what this governor is doing. Now it says here, so why would Governor Grisham issue a tyrannical order like this? Well, it's simple, because this is a trial run for something much larger, and that's absolutely correct. Other governors are watching this right now, and I can guarantee you Newsom's watching this. And I hope you're watching this, Newsom. Since the landmark decision in NY NIFRA versus Bruden, which affirmed that the Second Amendment extends outside the home, anti-gun politicians nationwide have had to resort to drastic measures to Americans' right to a firearm. Have you noticed how the amount of mass shootings and the Antifa riots and all of the violence in our cities has diminished and went very low ever since our latest president won? It's very interesting. However, the problem is, I believe, coming closer to this next presidential election, as Donald Trump continues to gain more favor with the people, where we're seeing people that voted for Biden saying now, I know this personally, I'm not voting for him again. And you know what? Now I see that Trump was doing a good job. They're going to become more threatened and see that they need to ratchet up the pressure. One way you ratchet up pressure is in the academy, the law rooms, the libraries, with the law books. Open those up. Another way you ratchet up pressure is all of a sudden all these crazy things start happening. It's pretty crazy, because then you could push a narrative. I think that this is absolutely disgusting, and we need to wake up to the reaction or the reality that there are people in high levels of position in our government that, first off, need to be fired. They need to be expelled. And they are trying to take our rights away so that they can control us even more. I hope you got something out of this. I thank you so much for watching The Economic Ninja.